Zoe here, talking to you today about Martin Seligman's positive psychology model PERMA, and I wanted to talk about M for meaning. And this is a really big topic area and very dear to my heart. I need to provide some context first before I launch in. I've been in Cambodia for a bit over a year now, and my doctoral studies is in the area of trauma and resilience. So in my time of talking to young people with trauma histories, it's been really interesting for me to step out of an academic or a therapist context and hear from these incredible young people, their stories of survival and what meaning is to them. And so essentially when Seligman talks about meaning, it is a construct that makes sense to that individual and how they've managed to either overcome adversity or move forward in life. Sometimes people will say and will tell you that everything happens for a reason. As a trauma therapist, I can't say I'm a big fan of that expression because I've seen really horrible things happen to really good people. But in line with that though, if it helps you, not to minimise if that expression is working for you, but for some of us that's not achievable. So if in the context of COVID-19 we are struggling, often we can't see meaning in something when we're in the middle of a critical incident, for example, which is exactly what this pandemic is. When we take a step back, and as they say, hindsight is a beautiful thing, we might be able to reflect on what came out of this really stressful time for me. Have I learnt a new set of coping skills? Have I reconnected with family? Were there positives in that scenario? So we can certainly be looking for the positives during this time and practicing gratitude and focusing on what we do have and what we're doing well, but we can also look for meaning, and that is very individualistic. So people who have a profound sense of faith, for example, might be able to tap into meaning, not to discredit atheists that have a sense of meaning and purpose in their life. I need to be very careful how I package this, right? But it is around what makes sense to you and where you find meaning. It's not a one-size-fits-all. So I would be encouraging you to explore that within your lives right now. What brings you a sense of purpose? What brings you a connection to others, or perhaps a connection to a new life skill or a new experience? And be writing down and banking these kinds of examples, because often what happens is when we get past a point, we then neglect to remember all of these positives, and it is in the small stuff in life. It doesn't have to be one giant event that causes meaning for this to occur. One of a really good example is Viktor Frankl, who wrote Man's Search for Meaning, and he's a Holocaust survivor and a psychiatrist as well. And so this was very much his area, and how mankind as a species searches for meaning in their lives. And so Seligman taps into that in terms of a positive psychology approach. So my sort of summary of this key theme is that will differ depending on you. But I encourage you to look within your surroundings and search for meaning that makes sense to you. Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.